Hi, I'm Julie Quimby. I'm a psychologist who specializes in working with couples, and I felt like it would be really helpful for me to come on and just talk a little bit about why relationships are really hard right now, especially in the midst of a pandemic when we have so much stress and uncertainty in our lives. I'm hearing from many friends, family members, and clients, of course, that things feel like they're falling apart, they feel harder than ever, and couples feel really panicked about what's happening in their relationship. Of course, in times of stress, we really feel like we need the support of our partner more than ever. We all want to feel like somebody has our back and understands how hard our life can be sometimes. And it's true, life is really hard, and what we need from our partner is just knowing that we're not alone in it. And yet when we're stressed, we're sometimes less emotionally available for those we love. So right now it's sort of like the perfect recipe for things to get derailed in our relationships. Because what often happens is when our partner isn't there for us, isn't responsive, doesn't seem to be really tuned in to what we need, we start feeling like we're not cared about, we're not important, maybe that we're inadequate, we're not getting it right. Really what's happening is all of these sort of old fears about ourselves get reactivated, and we can really get in our head and start spiraling with anxiety. And when we feel anxiety in our relationships, we usually do kind of go into a fight or flight mode. Some of us, when we feel anxious about the connection with our partner, really start fighting for connection, but it looks a lot like hostility and anger, criticism, and judgment. Nobody wants to feel blamed for things that are happening in the relationship, and yet when somebody is anxious and they're coming across that way, it's often rubbing up against their partner's fear of inadequacy, fear of failure, and they may withdraw more. And that withdrawal can send the signal to their partner that they don't care, they're not invested, they're not feeling anything. And you can see how this gets a real cycle going, a real negative dance where couples can feel a lot of distress, really disconnected, and sometimes hopeless about how to find each other again. What I do is teach clients that this fighting for connection is part of what happens because you're so important to each other. And when we have someone who's so important, we really feel a lot of attachment distress when they're not showing up for us or not available. So it can be very helpful to meet with a therapist who understands what's going on and knows how to guide you toward de-escalating those really bad or ugly days so that you can work toward more trust, safety, in a way that allows you to be more vulnerable, to kind of name what's really going on underneath that anger, hostility, or withdrawal, to really sort of speak to the fears and ask for what you need. Because if we ask for what we need in a more vulnerable way, we're not going to get caught up in these negative cycles. It may sound like, I really need you to sit next to me when I'm feeling worried, or I really need to know that I'm important to you when I'm having a bad day. When we ask directly for what we need, we're letting our partner know that they're important, that we need them, and we're showing them how to be there for us. I hope this is helpful. It's just a really small moment to be able to offer you something. I will try to come back and offer more tools and strategies and information so you can begin to understand what's going on. Don't hesitate to reach out to a skilled therapist because it can be enormously helpful to have somebody really guide you in the right direction and be able to access some of the more difficult feelings that we sort of try to avoid. So I wish you all well. We all deserve to be loved, and we need each other more than ever right now. So take good care.